Well, let's just say this: if I had a cheerful dead weight, I wouldn't have them as my QB. Now he'll probably be a backup. You know what I'm saying? Like the cheerful dead weight, whatever. Because no, that's good. He probably gonna do the scrub stuff that the star don't want to do. I'm just saying you don't want the cheerful if he's positive or what. I don't know. Maybe make him a kicker. I don't know. The thing is he's not going. I wouldn't put the cheerful, happy-go-lucky third stringer. I would not put him in the star role. Is what I'm saying.
But Udonis Haslam.
Say what?
Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, exactly.
He just in a lot.
That's what I'm saying. For those, unfortunately, for a lot of women, they want you to be a good man, and they want you to be faithful and all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, if she got to go out there and get it on her own, and she's struggling too much, bro, you a burden. You and all your cheerful support, you a burden.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll give you this example. Since you like football, all right. All right. Let's say this. You got the star player that's flashy, but toxic. I don't want to say toxic. That's flashy, but then you got the one that's cheerful and they can get the job done, but they ain't flashy. I think of two examples. One quarterback I'm thinking is Michael Vick. Michael Vick in Atlanta. He was flashy. He never won in Atlanta. But then I'm thinking of Doug Johnson in Tampa Bay. Wasn't nothing flash about him. In fact, the nigga threw picks, but they still won. And my thing is, sometimes a good attitude will go a long way. And sometimes it ain't about the stats and the stars and all of that stuff. Sometimes it's about, hey, sometimes there should be more value if you're a good person versus what you're doing.
The organization, the values of the organization. But that's what I'm saying about the women. For some women, they might be okay, but for a lot of them, that ain't gonna fly.
It depends on what the market is.
If you're a coach that wants to have cheerful, barely productive players, and you're okay with possibly never winning a championship, that is good for you. But for the winners and the coaches that want to hoist the trophies, they are going to go out there and say, you know what? As long as it ain't too bad, I can deal with it. Come on over here.
I mean, listen. You got situations where there's Trent Dilfer. Hold on, you got your Trent Dilfers where, hey, it's an unproductive loser, but hey, they won a championship. You got Doug Johnson, they won a championship. I'd rather have a Bill Belichick situation where I got a no-name quarterback that's under the radar and Tom Brady, someone I see potential in, and then I'm Bill Belichick, I groom him, and then I win multiple championships. He wasn't a star, but I saw something in this player, and I made him a star. That's what I'd rather have.
Yes, that's very modest of you. Look, these women are not trying to groom men. To be, either you are starting potential from day one or not. Nick Saban did it at Bama all the time. He took the rejected players and rejected coaches from all over, said, "Come on in here," and he kept on winning. But there was other people didn't want to touch him. But guess what? He said, "You know what? You come on in here. I'll show you. We're gonna get the job done." But some women, and that's how they are.
And that's why these women fall short, because they too busy looking at what you can do for me instead of what type of person you are. And if you looking at the material instead of the heart, you're gonna always be lost. And that's how they end up with abusers or womanizers or whatever instead of decent men. Like, I'm just saying, you're gonna always fall short when you're only looking at what a person's doing for you instead of what type of person they are.
But sometimes what they're not doing for you overshadows what they're doing.
And doing to you, exactly. Right. So what they're doing for you overshadows what they're doing.
But you struggling or financially, he's not benefiting you or whatnot. You can have a heart of gold. But if she need help, she need help. And she's not going to sit there and struggle for so long before she say, hey, you know what? You got a good heart and I wish you well. You know, I want to see you do good in life, but I need something better. You see this in organizations, even with coaches, when they can't win. It's like, coach, you're a hell of a coach, man. You're a good people person. You got the right spirit. You know, you're a family man. Mr. Malzahn, you talk to the players right. People like you. But look, Gus, you're not getting the job done. That's what the bottom line is. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are. It doesn't matter how much you smile. It doesn't matter how many parents like you. It doesn't matter how many children you talk to or how many players you stay up late at night playing tic-tac-toe with. The bottom line is your job is to get out here and be productive and win. That's why you're here. Everything else is a benefit, but that's your main priority in my scheme. And if you're not doing that, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go. I like you as a person. I really do. I like you as a person. I do not like you as a coach. So it's completely possible for a woman to like a man as a person, but not as a partner, because he's just not getting it done, whatever she needs to have done. Now, I don't think that's wrong.
Now, I don't think it's wrong either. I was going to say that's her business. And at the end of the day, he still have more options than her because they outnumber us. So, so it's going to be probably easier for him to recover than her. So,
no, man, believe it or not, it might be more women out there with men than men, but I guarantee you a woman can have another man before a man can have another woman. I guarantee you. You break up with your woman today, she can have a new man by midnight. Why? She goes to the club. The first dude that buy her a drink and smile at her, if she wants to, she can give out her number and say, let's go. Now, you go out there and buy 1,000 drinks and smile at 1,000 women, and you might strike out with every last one of them. That's just how it goes because they control. It's not about
she might have sex, but that don't mean she got a man. Just because he's smashing don't mean they're in a relationship. Oh, no. Men control relationships. Women control sex. Yeah, because my thing is I'm probably going to be able to get a relationship that I want before she would. I mean, I can't speak for all men, but I'm just saying because men control the tone of when relationships start. Like, that's just it. Now, women control when y'all have sex, but because at the end of the day, they're waiting on us to ask. We're not waiting on them to ask. In fact, if they got to ask, it's a problem. So what?
To ask what?
If they gotta ask for a relationship, it's dead in the water. They waiting on us to ask, and as long as they're waiting on us to ask, we control the tone of relationships. I could probably get a relationship I want before. That's why most of these girls single. It's women complaining about being single. I mean, men. I don't think men are complaining about being single. Men are complaining about women not doing what they want them to do. It's women talking about it ain't no men to be in relationships. Men, it's a bunch of dudes that can get a relationship. They might not be able to get sex, even in a relationship, but they can probably get a woman. They can probably get a girlfriend. I'm just saying, all you got to do is.
Mean that she's of value. That don't mean that she brings it. I mean, it's the same thing with the women. A man might have more options out there, but a lot of them options might not even be viable options just because of the state of mind. I agree. They might not even be so. He can go get in a relationship, but that doesn't mean it'll be what he desired, even if he thinks so from the beginning. We are just as susceptible to our feelings as anybody else. And you go out there and you think of like I can say that because I've been there, man. Men, I'm gonna tell you something. Women are naive by nature, in my opinion. Men are not naive. We do dumb stuff on purpose. There's a difference. Women are very innocent in nature. I believe that women are very, so when I say naive, I don't mean ignorant. I mean that women approach the world a lot of times from a very childlike mentality. Like, everybody's my friend. I love you. I see you. I'm going to take everything at face value. So they're more susceptible to being tricked and deceived into things. Men, we don't really get tricked that often. We just do dumb stuff on purpose for women for no apparent reason. None. We do dumb stuff on purpose for no reason. We know that this woman ain't no good. We know that we probably shouldn't be with this woman. We know she got a nasty attitude and all this other stuff, and we'll still be like, you know what? Because it's off that pride thing, thinking that we can tame somebody or that we can do this or we can do that, and we put ourselves in situations that we honestly know we should not be in, and we do it anyway for the sake of whether it's pride or saying I got somebody or, hey, I can control the relationship or I'm going to make her do this, I'm going to make her do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the road can go both ways. A man can go out there and get in a relationship, but that don't mean it's any better than what she got. He just got to decide what bad relationship he wanted to be in. And more than likely, he saw it coming. That's why a lot of times, even for myself, when I was in a relationship and it ended a certain way, and my brother, he didn't like it. He said, man, she did you wrong. She shouldn't have did this. I said, it don't matter what she did. It's my fault. He said, no, bro, it ain't your fault. I said, it's my fault because I knew from the beginning I shouldn't have been there. I said, I jumped in that boat on purpose. I can't get mad at the result. That's on me.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose, man.
So do you feel like men control the tone of the relationship?
Do I think men control the tone of the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think men control the tone of the relationship because as a man, if you're going to be in control, that's what being in control is. You have to control the tone. You know, you're the maestro to the band. You control the, you know, when she gets here, make sure they can see my hands. When she gets here, as a man, it's your job to keep it here or down. If she gets up, you bring her back down here. If she gets up here, it's not your job to keep going like that because you have to put that cap like, hey, bring it down. Why you yelling at me? Stop cussing. You know what? We're not finna talk. You too mad? We ain't gonna talk like that. I tell you what, I'm gonna shut it down. As a man, that's your job. Have I always been good at that? Hell no. There have been times when I've lost my cool. It happens. But for the most part, as a man, because especially if women are emotional and they act out of their feelings more often than men in certain other things, and they are more prone to be naive in certain aspects, as a man, it's your job to be on your P's and Q's. It's your job to be on the radar. It's your job to keep things in check, to constantly watch over stuff. So yes, you have to guide that relationship and set the tone of it. Because if it's going to run through you, it's going to run through you. It cannot run. You cannot call yourself a man and say that I'm in charge of my relationship without setting the tone of it. It kind of comes. It's like a head coach of a football team. You can't be the head coach of a football or a basketball team, but then say these players doing what they want. They're out of control. No. Who sets the tone in the locker room? When those players get out of line, who puts them in check? When these players running out here celebrating and doing stuff they ain't supposed to do, you see Nick Saban, 85-year-old butt running down the field. Hey, don't do that. Shut up. Get over here. Get back in line. Stay focused because that's his job. Even if other coaches are saying stuff, even if there are players on the field that are telling the other players don't do that, it's still his job at the end of the day to keep it right here and to hold it together. So I do think that it is a man's responsibility to do that. I don't see any other way around it.
Do you think men are doing a good job of doing that?
No.
What do you think we need to do?
We need to get help. It's too many men out there that are being damaged and won't seek therapy or get the help that they need to be productive leaders and to be able. You cannot keep a woman in check in her emotions or to keep a situation from escalating if you cannot control your own emotions.
Right.
You understand? That ain't no different from a cat fight. That ain't no different from two women arguing. You know what I'm saying? We need to get help.
So if you're saying that men control the tone of relationships and men are failing at controlling that tone, is it that men fault the relationships not being successful? Is it men's fault
that the relationship is not being successful?
Yeah, if we control the tone, and then you saying most men don't know how to pretty much regulate their emotions to be able to be valid leaders. Do the relationship fall on when it's not unsuccessful? Do it fall on men?
Not always. It depends on specific. Every relationship is different. It depends on.
We're talking about majority. What was that majority?
I say it's split down the middle. I think half is men that aren't productive at being men, and I think and half is women that won't listen. Sometimes it's not about whether or not you're productive. It's that you're trying to produce in the wrong environment. You feel me? I don't care how good of a musician you are. If you're in a room full of bad singers, the choir is going to sound like piss. And you can be the best producer in the world, but you're working with the wrong people. And sometimes that's on men. You have to realize sometimes when you're working with the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always that you're unproductive or that you can't control the situation, but it's like, hey, I have to realize that for the sake of me, because this is going to damage me in the future to where when I do get a like woman, I might be overbearing or too much because I just put myself through some bull that I ain't have to be through. And some of it is just women not listening.
How long do it usually take? Just give me a typical. How long do you think it usually take for somebody to figure out that this is the wrong crowd.
This is the wrong crowd.
This is the wrong person to really be entertaining.
6 months.
All right. So if we're saying 6 months, right? You gotta understand from the women's side of it, right? We're more logical. We're a lot of times we can really snap back based off, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, we know we did wrong. Men get better with every relationship. Men get better. Women take some things away every relationship. They take it away. So if their mindset is, they feel like they wasted 6 months. So it's just like they take some weight every time. So they're like, I'm not gonna do this now. I'm not gonna do this now. I'm not gonna do this now. If that's their mindset, if they don't know, if everybody's seen good from the first get-go, they pretty much want you to put stuff out in front now. So that's where we get the little things where pretty much they want men to pretty much tap dance and they want you to be Prince Charming right up front because they'd already had those times where they felt like, they was used up. They don't feel like they got enough to keep going around and do that. Because like I said, a lot of women are emotionally unstable. So they know what extent they can go from that. So it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to have the potential to be this type, I need to see that you're going to be like this. You need to make me feel safe right now.
I don't think men get better with every relationship. Sometimes we can. I think we're more consistent at, seeking relationships, I'll say, when we want to. I don't think that we necessarily always get better with every relationship. The reason I said 6 months to see what you got is because you got to realize when somebody meet, this is what happens. When two people meet, for like the first 2, maybe 3 months, unless it's just too far left, them first 2 or 3 months, everything's going to be cloud nine because everything's new. They probably start having sex, so they're not seeing a lot of flaws. And if somebody's pretending to be something they're not, then they're not in their comfort zone. It takes about 3 months for the newness to wear off, and then for people to get back in their comfort zones, and then for you to start to see who you're actually dealing with. And when you first see it, there's going to be that denial for maybe another month and a half. You're going to deny what you're seeing because of the first 3 months of your existence. So you're going to spend time trying to get them first that first 3 month person back. And it's going to take about another 3 months after the first 3 months before you realize, okay, it was like this for the first 3 months. It started going like that. I gave it the benefit of the doubt trying to get back to here, but instead we're getting worse. So around that 6 month part, that's when you kind of typically make a break. Like, you know what? No, this ain't it.
So how many women 6 months you think they went through before they start saying, okay, I need down payment. I'm tired of you running off on the I need a bigger down payment.
That just depends on how much she's giving up in those 6 months. If women were to
feel like that,
if women, in my opinion, when we talked about the sandwiches and whatnot, if they weren't sleeping with these guys and really just spent 6 months trying to get to know them, like dating, talking, allowing life to unfold instead of getting head, sometimes they get head over heels after 2 or 3 weeks or a month, and so they just get too far ahead of themselves. And a lot of times when you spend too much time with somebody, you lose track of time. Because if it's been 30 days, but we spent every weekend together and we texting all during the week, and then I've seen you a month can feel like 7 months. And so you lose perception of time. You don't even realize it's only been a month. In your mind, you thinking like, dang, we done did this, we done did that. And you be thinking like, man, when I met them? 30 days. It's only been 30 days.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, GQ, I don't know if it's a how many 6 months. I don't think it's how many. I think it's more of a how long. Because I think once they hit a certain age, their biological clock can tick. For some reason, I think around 36, 37 is when they like, you know what? I'm too old to be dealing with this shit. So I ain't about to go through that. So you're gonna have to audition for me. And
that's
but
when
I do
with the voice.
Say what?
I said that's when they hit you with the voice. You come out, you got about a hot 30 seconds to hit that X.
Well, I'm talking about the ones that's single at our age group. The ones that's single, they like, look, they done seen it all. They got the experience. They ain't about to go through your mess or whatever. And they want you to. They come to the table like, hey, look, if you ain't ready to marry me, don't talk to me. I mean, because they ain't ready to waste no time. But I was gonna say, I do think GQ, you got a point. Like every time they get burnt by a dude, they take away that baggage, and I do feel like they make the next man try to make up for what the last man mistakes were.
I believe that too.
If that,
Yeah.
I do believe that, man.
Most
I
definitely.
believe you had a point.
Most definitely.
yeah,
That's why
I think they
said
trying to, they trying to make up for the last failed relationship.
that. Right.
You know, whereas I don't think guys try to make up for the last failed relationship, but I do feel like us men, what we do is I'm not gonna get burned like that again. And sometimes we become the burners, you know, like so I feel like a lot of times when guys jump from, you know, from girl to girl, sometimes we get worse, you know. So and they end up being
more likely to hold it out in between. I'm just
yeah.
being real. We're much more likely to hold it out in between. We're much more likely to come out of a relationship and be single for a year, 2 years, just doing what we want to do before we enter another relationship versus how some women will. And that's why this is part of what I told you about entering relationships is because on average, women will enter more relationships back to back than a man. I get out of a relationship, I might chill for a year and a half. I'm not in no rush. But this woman, by the time I get with another female in a relationship, my ex may have already been in like 2 or 3 different relationships at that point in time because they'll go from one relationship and when they seeking the next man, they want to turn that into a relationship. A lot of them don't go from, and that's because some of them do have that. I don't want to give my body to just anybody, even though they kind of are. It's almost like, well, let's at least make it official before I give you my body. So I don't want to sleep with nobody that I ain't in a relationship with. You want to be my boyfriend? Okay, now we can do it. You know, it's kind of, they expedite the processes to make themselves feel better because you're not really sleeping around or doing too much because we were in a relationship. It's not just some guy I met. And I think
right.
And I think women, because of that clock, they have more of a desire at points in times to be in relationships because they do feel that pressure to have kids and get married before a certain age. And that's even from society. You know, one of the most disrespectful things I think you can do is to ask a woman why she ain't have kids yet or where's her man or all this. You know, they ain't nobody ever walked up to no man and said, where your woman at? Why you ain't got no woman? Like, you know, they don't care.
I mean, but women are defined. They're defined by that the relationship. They defined by being a wife and mothers. You know what I'm saying? And it's a negative stigma for them to be single, and they afraid of being alone. I mean, they're afraid, like they don't want to be alone.
I don't know. Bro.
Say what? You don't think?
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of women out there that are just fine with being alone right now.
I promise.
I mean, I feel like they got no choice. But at the end of the day, all right? So, okay, so why do you think? So why do you think they hop from relationship? You saying they hop to relationship so they don't feel shame for sleeping around? You think that's why they doing it? You just said they don't take the time to heal between their relationships. Right. I think it has something to do with that and the fact that when you alone, you got to think about. I don't think they want to think about their problems or think about what's going on, and they need another distraction to cope with the hurt. Like so,
the longer you think about your problems, the more you start to realize how much you played a role in it. And what did we talk about earlier? Accountability. The best way.
Accountability.
So
stay on the move.
So I'm gonna say
on the run, G.
I'm gonna say this: how women view the relationship and how men view the relationship be two different things. We can sit here and sit there and lay out what happened, events. This is what happened, and you can talk to a woman and be like, "Hey, this happened, this happened, this happened." And the woman, when she tell her side story, she gonna say, "Well, I feel this, and you make me feel this, and you make me feel this," and it's gonna be two different things of what happened. So when that woman leaves that relationship, she already made it in her mind how it was gonna be your fault, even if it wasn't your fault. So when she goes to that next relationship, she not looking at working on herself. She only learned somebody else's behavior. she ain't learning. She ain't looking at herself. So when she looks at another guy and another guy seems like he doing the same thing, she gonna sit here and be trying to pinpoint or you know what I'm saying, because she only learning other people's behavior. She not pretty much paying attention to herself. You know what I'm saying?
That's because men set.
Easy.
I'm sorry. That's because men set the tone, right?
Huh?
If men set the tone in relationships, right?
Right.
You said that earlier. Men set the tone. So
right.
If men set the tone in a relationship, then she's gonna automatically say, "Nah, I did this because of you," because she's waiting on him to set the tone. But I just wanted to interject that. But continue.
Said she was gonna say it again.
No, I just wanted to throw that out there. Remember earlier you said that y'all believe that men set the tone in relationships, right?
Yeah, right.
As long as she believed and he believed that the man set the tone, she never has to be accountable. She always has to say, "Hey, I did this because I did this in response to what he did."
And as a man, you
how,
have to break it down.
When you say set the tone, you got to set the tone on how we're going to converse back and forth to each other.
Right.
So you got to sit here and be like, okay, well, we're only going to respond with healthy responses. So meaning that, all right, instead of you just going and sharing things with your emotions, stuff like that, we're going to say, hey, well, we're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're going to stay in this lane right here. And we'll stay in this lane. If we can't stay in the lane, that's when a man's supposed to remove himself. Like, gotcha. I feel like the man setting the tone is pretty much not tolerating. So pretty much if a woman or anybody start doing certain things, I feel like it's a man's job to remove itself. And you know what I'm saying, not, you know what I'm saying, take the attention away from their presence. Because anytime you take the attention away, you know what I'm saying, that's when people really start paying attention and really start trying to get their mindset, you know what I'm saying, to try to figure out what they need to do to get their attention back focused on them. You know what I'm saying?
Like Xavier said one time on Facebook, where he was saying, you made a post about accountability. And you were saying that one of the best ways to get people to be accountable is to show accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I would do as a man sometimes. I've been in situations where I've pissed off a woman and they do that. They say, I only did this because you did this. You made me feel like that. And you know what I'm going to say? I said, you're right. I did do that. I did that. And I apologize that what I did made you feel this way. But now that I have admitted to what I did and I apologize for you, I'm going to explain to you what led to me doing that. So now that I've apologized for my actions and I apologize for how my actions affected you, now I'm going to tell you what led to me doing that. And it's going to start with something that you did. So now I'm going to say, hey, I was wrong for what I did, but this is what you did that put me in that mind frame. I'm not saying that what I did was right. I'm not excusing my behavior. I'm not excusing what I said. But what I am saying is that this is what triggered me. So in the future, if you do not want this result that you just got that we both agreed I was wrong for, then you should probably not do this event that triggered me.
Facts.
Not doing this
Facts
will help keep me from doing that. And it will help keep you from feeling how you feel right now. So that's how we're going to do that. I'm not saying I was right. I admit I was wrong. I don't like what I did. I don't like what I said, but I'm grown enough to say, even though I did it, I will let you know what led to it. This is not saying that it wasn't wrong. I'm just telling you what you did that led to it. And if you cannot accept that, then we cannot exist, because I know right now that you will never accept anything that I tell you. And so you're going to do it again. And guess what? I'm going to do this again, but next time I'm not apologizing because I already told you what you did. So if you do it again, I'm going to feel like you want it. Whatever I said, whatever I did, I feel like you want it or you like it because I tried to tell you, hey, don't do that. Like, this make me feel like this. I don't really appreciate that. You know, I don't want to be that kind of person, and I apologize for that. If I can't talk to you on that level as a man, we don't exist. I'm out.
That's real.
I'm out.
That's facts. Yeah.
Because the only thing that's going to happen is the cycle is going to repeat itself. She's going to do it again. She's not going to learn a lesson. And I'm not going to keep apologizing for something that I'm doing that is a result of something that you are doing. I'm gonna apologize the first time. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. You were right. I shouldn't have said that. The second time, nah, because if you don't care about my feelings and trying to prevent, me from feeling a certain way, I'm not gonna try to prevent you from feeling a certain way. So at that point, it is what it is, but that's unhealthy. So why are we here? So I'm gonna set the tone by saying there is no tone. Get out.
Yeah.
There is no tone. There is no tone. That's flatline. Get out. Like I can't get through to you. I can't talk to you. Just like a coach does not want to be in charge of a player that they cannot coach, because you're going to make me look bad if I'm trying to give you instruction and tell you this, that, and third, you won't listen. No coach wants to deal with an uncoachable player. No man wants to deal with a woman that he cannot coach in that aspect of, hey, I can admit my flaws, but if you're not going to do what I ask you to do, that's causing this, or if you're going to keep doing that, and I'm telling you as a man that, yes, I regret this and I regret that, and I should have handled it better, but I'm also a human. And if I can't talk to you on a human level like that, why are we here? Why are we here, dude?
She got to cooperate.
Why are we here? Why are we? That's like asking somebody to stop bullying your kid, and then they say, okay, I'll stop bullying your kid, but I only did this to your kid because your kid did this to me, and you don't talk to your kid. So the next time your kid come home with a black eye, don't get mad. It's because your child was picking on this person and doing little things to get up under their skin, and when they retaliated, but you didn't address that. You want to keep addressing the retaliation, and that's what a lot of women do sometimes. I'm not saying that everything is retaliation. Sometimes it starts with you. Sometimes as a man, I might do something that triggers her, and I have to admit, you said, I don't like what you did. I can admit that was my fault. I was in a bad mood. I shouldn't have came in the house like that. I shouldn't have said that. That was my fault. It goes both ways. So if I show you that olive branch, that when I'm wrong and when it starts with me, I can end it with me by admitting that I was wrong. And even though I don't like what you did, I acknowledge the fact that what you did was a response to what I did. If you can't do the same, who's gonna play catch with somebody that won't throw the ball back? You look stupid. I'm not gonna throw you the ball, run down there, get it, run back, and then throw it again.
Yeah.
That's how it is when you're in a relationship and you're dealing with somebody that's not willing to reciprocate what you are giving. They're not willing to give that same effort and energy. You're playing catch with somebody that won't throw the ball back.
Right.
You're doing all the running back and forth and you look stupid and it's tiring. So I'm just going to skip the whole charade because I've done that before. I'm not doing it again. Ma'am, it's been real. Hey, I like your hair. Nice shoes. I hope they're good for walking. Get out.
If every man did that, we'll have a better woman.
Before I do, you need more damage.
Look, I hate to say it that way because it sounds bad, but if every man did that, what you're saying, we'll have better quality woman. Because there'll be no guys that tolerate the things that they do.
Every man can't do that though, because a lot of men just got issues and problems that they haven't faced and traumas that they haven't faced. And so I don't think a lot of men know how to do that because truth be told, a lot of men have just as many accountability issues as women do. And we just haven't been bred on a whole scale to be the leaders that we're supposed to be right now. And that's just what it is. That's the bottom line.
Hey, so can you teach accountability?
You can show people how to be accountable, but you can't teach them. It's something that they have to want to do. It's something that they have to want to do. You have to lead by example. Either they want to or not. You can't teach somebody how to be guilty for something. You can just show humility and hope that they pick up on it. But we at the end of the time, I got enough for 2 episodes, which is what I was going, what my goal was. Most definitely going to take some notes and try to get back to this subject when we can. I appreciate it, man. It seemed like we got some stuff to uncover, but hopefully next time I'll be able to get some females involved. I'm looking at all Yeah, like I told you, one thing about this is I'm gonna talk. We gonna talk. Whether I'm wrong, whether I'm right, I'm gonna talk. And if I'm wrong, but you don't want to come on this show and talk to me, then I'm just gonna keep being wrong until you come talk to me.
Man, you get some girls talk about this topic, man. That's gonna be a 4-hour episode.
Hey, I want them to come out. They'll sit back and watch. Say, man, they ain't have no women representing. It's just me. I be begging folks to come. I beg women, come on here, represent the women. If they don't want to, guess what? I'm gonna keep mansplaining everything I want to from a bad.
I mean, but if you let them know, hey, if you gotta, you almost kind of gotta bait the women. Say, hey, look, we talking about how women be wrong in the relationships. Oh, we need some women to come represent. Oh, let me come. They gonna run to that thing to be like, oh, we ain't wrong. You know what I'm saying? They gonna flock to try to get us together.
Hey, you know what we're gonna call it? This is what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call the next episode how are black women failing black men?
Right. Oh my God. Oh, hey, listen, hey, put that as a title, man. You gonna have 1 million views on YouTube. Oh my God.
How black women are failing black men.
Listen, in the next episode,
why white women are better. That's what we're gonna do.
Boy,
hey, bro, I'm be here like this. Hello, yeah, we got caller number 12. Yeah, ma'am. Hold on 1 second.
Well, we finna get canceled about that for real.
No, they ain't gonna cancel us. They gonna keep us. They gonna keep us alive just so they can skin us alive. The second episode is just gonna be us reading the responses, dog. That joke is gonna be crazy.
I'm mark my words. Watch me. And when I put it out there, y'all better share it. But when I put that status out there, better share it. I'm gonna invite folks to come on the show.
Hey, I want to leave some food for thought when you said that about when you said that about why white women are better or something like that. I know you being facetious, but I saw some.
Very facetious.
I know you're being facetious. By the way, he did not mean that, people. Yeah, you better clear that up. Oh, here at BKO, we do not support. We don't support racism and colorism. But I was gonna leave some food for thought though. When you said that, man, I saw a video and he said this. It made me think that oftentimes when a man says that when a man says that he wants a black woman to be submissive, what he really means is he wants that black woman to act more like white women.
I'm not.
So it really, it made me think like, wait a minute. So but I could be wrong. It was a philosophy. So hey.
I ain't touching it. I don't know what white women feel like, so I don't know. I ain't touching it.
I don't know. I don't. My hypocrisy only goes so far. I don't. I'm willing to get in trouble. I don't want to get in that much trouble.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting in light trouble. This man just jumped straight off.
Oh man, y'all so scared. Y'all scared, man.
It's cool, man. But we.